In this video, I'd like to continue talking about finding the roots of complex numbers. And in the previous video, we looked at solving this equation by rewriting this complex number z in its polar form and doing the same for the number 1, writing that in its polar form, and then comparing the two different sides of the equation after raising the polar form of z to the fifth power. And while that method does work and you can find the 5 solutions to this equation, it can be a little bit tedious. And a faster way to approach solving an equation like this, where we are finding the roots of unity, the 5 roots of 1, we can use the exponential form of a complex number, where for that we will need to use Euler's formula. Since we know that in Euler's formula, we have e to the I times theta is equal to the cosine of theta plus I times by the sine of theta. And if you remember the polar form of complex number, it's the magnitude multiplied by its direction, the cosine of theta, plus I times by the sine of theta. But its direction is exactly Euler's formula. So we can rewrite this complex number as its magnitude multiplied by e to the I times theta. And we will do that for this equation here. And with this method, we can find our 5 different solutions a bit quicker. So let's start by rewriting both sides of this equation in its exponential form using this Euler's formula in our complex number. This right here is what we call exponential form. So we have that this complex number z is written as its magnitude multiplied by e to the I theta, all raised to the 5th power. And for this number 1, its magnitude is 1 and its angle is 0 degrees. But we need to be careful because when representing a number on the complex plane, its angle could be written in multiples of 360 or 2 pi. So this angle of 0, if we add 360 degrees or 2 pi, then we get back where we started. This could also be 0 radians if we want. And we can do that as many times as we want. We can add 720 or 4 pi. We can add 6 pi, 8 pi, and so on, and the same likewise for degrees, meaning that there are infinite representations of this angle. So we need to account for that here because we are looking for 5 different solutions. We can write this as 0 degrees, or let's actually do this in radians. It's a little bit nicer. We can say that this is 0 radians plus multiples of 2 pi. And we will multiply this by some integer k. Since again, every time we add 2 pi, we just get back to that same angle. So no matter how many times we add 2 pi, it's still the exact same angle. And of course, we will say that k is an integer. And we'll focus on the positive integers, so just the natural numbers. And if we want, we could use negative numbers as well. But really, we'll see that we only need 5 different integer values. If we look at any more, we will actually just end up with multiples of our solutions. But we'll come back to that later. And this is something we looked at in the previous video. Now, to continue solving this equation, we need to simplify the left-hand side here. So let's start by raising all this to the 5th power. And when we have a product, each factor here gets raised to the 5th power. We have the magnitude of z raised to the 5th, multiplied by e to the I theta raised to the 5th. But we are taking an exponent and raising it to an exponent. And when we do that, we multiply the two exponents. We have e to the I times by 5 theta. Of course, this is equal to this magnitude of 1 multiplied by e to the 0 plus 2 pi k. And for this equation to be true, the magnitude on each side must be equal, and also the angle on each side must be equal. Now we can see that the magnitude of each of our solutions would have to be 1. Since if we solve this equation, if we raise each side to the 1/5 power, we will get the magnitude of z on the left, since 5 times by 1/5 is just 1, and 1 to the 1/5 power, or 1 to any power, is 1. So the magnitude of each of our 5 solutions will be 1, and we just need to focus on the angle. We can say that this angle, 5 theta, is equal to this angle over here, which is 0 plus 2 pi k. And let's divide each side by 5. We get 0 over 5, which is 0, plus 2 pi over 5 multiplied by k. And this will give us all of our solutions. We can find that, let me change colors, our first solution, we can call that theta 1, would be at 0. If we let k equals 0 here, this part just goes away. The second solution will be when k is 1, we get 2 pi over 5 radians. The third solution would be 4 pi over 5 radians. The fourth one would be 6 pi over 5, and the fifth one would be at 8 pi over 5. Now, the reason I say we only need 5 of these values, since that is the exponent here, is that if we look at a sixth solution here, we would be adding this 2 pi over 5 times. The 5's cancel out. We get 0 plus 2 pi, which brings us to 10 pi over 5. Let me make a little room. Which, of course, is 2 pi, which is equal to 0. So this one here and this one here would be equal. We would end up with a duplicate solution, which we don't need. So anything past this integer value of 4, anything past these 5 original values, will just give us repeat solutions, and we only need these 5 here, where again, the magnitude of all of these is 1. And if we wanted, as we saw in the last video, we can plot these on the complex plane, and we will see that the magnitude for each of these is 1, and they will arrange on a circle. So if this is at 1 and this is at I, or 1i, let me quickly draw these 5 solutions, where this solution right here is theta 1, this is theta 2, theta 3, theta 4, and our fifth solution is right here, theta 5. And this symmetry, where they all end up on the same circle, where the radius is 1 in this case, since this is equal to 1, this symmetry always occurs when we're finding the roots of some number. In fact, if we were finding the roots, let's say z to the third power of 8, then we would still get all of our solutions on a circle, where in this case the radius would be 2, since if you find the real solution of this, 2 solves this equation, but we would get solutions here and here as well, though this is not drawn perfectly to scale, but it does have this very nice symmetry. And this symmetry occurs anytime you're finding the roots of some complex number. But if you've seen the previous video where we used the polar form of complex numbers and went through a similar process, that this process using exponential form is quite a bit faster. So it's your choice which method you want to use when solving these problems, but personally, I tend to use this exponential form using Euler's formula, since the result just doesn't take as long to find.